Hi everybody, this is Cindy from Magazine Mama. I wanted to create this video because someone in our group had posted an excellent question. He was asking about running Instagram ads and Facebook ads to book high school photography clients. Now, he said on Instagram he gets better results, and he did some trials on Facebook and he didn't get such great results. And so I asked him, I said, because I've been using Facebook ads for about 8 years now, and it works great. That's like one of the best platforms, I think, for advertising because you can target so specifically. So I was like, what do you mean? I thought to myself, what do you mean you're not getting good results on Facebook? And I said, what kind of ads are you using? What targeting? And what's the objective? And so he wrote me back, and I thought it was really great. And the reason I wanted to create this video is because I think a lot of photographers struggle with these same issues. They say they've tried Facebook and it doesn't work. Well, I think it's because they're not, they don't have the proper formula for the ads, and they may not be using Facebook in the best way to get the best results. So I wrote down 3 things that he did, and like 3 areas that I think he can improve and areas to tweak to get a lot better results. So the first one, he said, I promoted my page with pictures and text stating pricing specials. Now, this is okay to do, but it depends on who you're targeting when you do this kind of promotion. Is it going to be a cold audience, which means somebody who's never heard of your business before or who's never interacted with your business? Or is it going to be a warm audience, meaning your clients or your email list or people who like your Facebook page? Because think about this. If you're targeting a cold audience, people who haven't interacted with your business, what would make them want to book you? Is it the pricing? Is the pricing so low that they're like, wow, this is a great deal, I can't resist it? And if it is, maybe you don't want to get them to book just because you have a low price, because then you have to have a low price every time to get people to book. You want them to book because they value your photography. And not only that, like, how do you know that the people that you're spending money to target, that they're even interested in high school senior photography? So you could be wasting a lot of money real fast on Facebook ads if you're not targeting the right people. So what I would recommend, what makes more sense to me, is to make them an offer to give them something in exchange for their email address. So in this scenario, I would create a PDF of your welcome guide, your high school senior photography welcome guide, and have them sign up to receive it. Have them give their email, and then you send it to them via email. That way, at least this is someone who's interested in having their high school senior photo taken, because the ad can say something like, sign up to get tips on how to prepare for your high school portrait. That way, number one, they're interested in high school senior sessions, and number 2, if you're saying that these are tips on how to prepare, that they haven't taken their senior portrait yet. So, see how we're narrowing down that audience. And number 3, you're paying to receive something. You're paying money to Facebook, and you're receiving their email address. Whereas if you're just running ads to a page, that could be a strategy if you want to grow your Facebook page, but think of the end result. At the end of the day, what are you trying to do with the ad? Because you can waste a lot of money on Facebook ads. So let's get back to this. So in this scenario, you've created a PDF of your welcome guide. They sign up to receive it, and now they're at least interested in having their high school senior photographed or high school senior photos taken. Then after they've downloaded the welcome guide, they've read through some of the articles, they've established that you are an expert, you indeed know what you're talking about, they've had a chance to look at some of your photos featured in the guide. Now they become a warm audience at this point. So now is the time when you can take that ad that promotes your page with your pricing. Now you can retarget those people who downloaded your guide with that ad and say, hey, thanks for downloading my guide. Here's some of the specials I'm running this month. So that's your warm audience. So that's what I would do in that scenario. Okay, so let's look at the second tip I have for you. So this person said, I target, I said, who are you targeting? He says, I target local area, women married and unmarried, did some income restrictions, and students in high school. So this is, good. This is getting a little bit better. By targeting interest or targeting demographics, this is what we're talking about here. Now, my first tip in this area is make sure that you don't group all those together. So you're targeting students in high school, women who are married and unmarried. Don't group everything together, because first of all, when you look at the results of your ads, you won't know who clicked on what. Even if you're doing an email lead ad, you won't know who you're getting the best results from, like how much it costs to target the married versus the unmarried. So this is where you'll need to split test your ads. So within the Facebook campaign, you can split test the ad groups. You can split test at campaign level, ad group level, and even ad level. So many different ways to split test. But for this example, you would split test like married versus unmarried. And then you would put the high school students in a separate ad group. And then you can also split test the income. Now, you'll really need to know your ideal client really well when you start doing this, because you don't want to throw away money targeting people who aren't your ideal client. So how many of your ideal clients, how many of the high school seniors' moms are married versus how many are unmarried? Is that really something that you have a lot of, like single moms, or they're all married moms, or something like that? Also, you'll need to know the income levels of your ideal client, what their income level is. And since I'm talking about income, I wanted to point this out. Just because someone has a high income level and you think, oh, they're making all this money, they can afford me, that's not necessarily true. Because a lot of times people who maybe have a higher income level, maybe they are more picky with how they spend their money. And the same on the flip side is true. People that don't have a lot of money, maybe they value photography more than someone with a lot of money. And I can give you a specific example from my wedding photography business. I remember one time we had this couple book, and it was somebody who you wouldn't think, had a lot of money, but they booked our highest wedding package, and they purchased additional wedding albums. So it was like probably the biggest client that we've had. And I was really surprised by it, but actually I wasn't when looking back on it, I shouldn't have been surprised, because when this couple met with me, one of the first things they said was that they really valued photography. Photography was really important to them. And the venue that they got married at wasn't, the most high-end venue. That's why I was kind of surprised at it. But they valued photography, so they were willing to spend a lot of money on their photography. And I always say, if someone wants something bad enough, they will find a way to pay for it. So that's kind of my little caveat on income levels and targeting income levels. But if you do have a specific ideal client and you do know their income level and it's kind of consistent, sure, go ahead and throw that in with the interest or with the demographic targeting. So let me see what else I wanted to say on that. Yeah, that's about all I wanted to say on that. Okay, and then the third tip I have for you is about interest targeting. This person said, I wasn't sure what interest to put. For example, I put photography. Does that mean they like to do photography, or does it mean they're interested in photography as in to hire someone? Okay, so photography as an interest, that's a really broad interest, and most of the time you're going to find hobbyist photographers in that interest category when you target that interest. So, you know, on one token, it can be good because they love photography. So, you know, someone who loves photography is going to value photography. But then at the same time, if they love photography and maybe they're a hobbyist photography mom, you know, maybe they're a DIYer and they want to shoot their own high school photos of their son or daughter. So that could be a little tricky there. So I would recommend staying away from photography as an interest unless you're maybe teaching a photography class and you want to target people who are into photography as a hobby. So what I recommend is, I know this person, they mentioned that they think a lot of the high school students are on Instagram and not really on Facebook, so they get better results on Instagram. But I want to say that I believe that high schoolers are on Facebook as well. I know that Instagram targets a lot of the younger generation, although I think it's kind of balancing out more lately. But you can find a lot of high school students on Facebook. And one example I wanted to mention is that I went and looked at a Facebook profile of a high school senior that we recently photographed. We photographed her and her graduation party. And I know she's on Facebook because she used our photos for her Facebook profile. So that's, I know she's on Facebook. And so what I did was I went, if you go to their profile, you can click on more about if their profile isn't private. And I clicked on likes. You can click on likes and TV shows, and then you can see all the things that she liked. Like this person, this client of ours, she had liked her dentist office, like the orthodontist offices. I know it kind of sounds weird, but some of these businesses, they'll like give you points if you check in on Facebook or on Yelp. So, you know, go and find your high school students that you photograph and look at their profiles and see if you find some common interests. Another thing that I noticed she liked was different TV shows. You can find the TV shows that they like. One was Chopped. I don't know if this is like indicative of like all high school seniors, probably not, but Chopped was one of them. And then a lot of different artists it showed. I can't remember the names, but it'll show the different artists, the TV shows they watch. And it will also, if you scroll down, it'll show events that they attended. And this is really great too, because if you want to do some in-person marketing at certain events, or maybe like you want to be featured in a swag bag or, you know, something like that, it's really good to know what events that your high school students are attending. And, you know, maybe you even want to attend the events and just kind of like hang out in that area and kind of get to know your ideal client and that target even better. So there's a lot of reasons that you might do this, because number one, you'll have something to talk about, some common ground. You can say, hey, did you go to this event? I was there too. And it gets them to feel more comfortable around you and like you even more. And, they'll recommend you to their friends. They'll say, hey, check out this photographer. They go to all the cool events that we go to and things like that. And then on the Facebook pages that these high school students are liking, go ahead and click like on that as well and see all the content that these pages are sharing, because this can be a great way to find content that is relatable to your ideal client, to the high school seniors. So you can share some of the more the posts that are viral. You can share them on your page, and then that, according with the Facebook algorithm, the way it is, it'll share to other people who will like the post. And so you might even gain some new high school seniors by doing that. So that's one idea for you. And then another thing you can do is when you look at the different likes and different things that your high school students like, is that you can begin to create content around that. And maybe you want to craft some blog posts and kind of, use those different personalities, the artists, the TV shows that they watch, talk about that in your blog posts, and or even send out an email about it. You're gonna have to like kind of weave it into your photography, but be creative. You can do it. And so like I said, that definitely your high school student client is going to be on Facebook. You just have to know where to find them, and once you do that, you'll get a lot better results. And now the cost of running ads on Facebook, this is just kind of like a bonus tip, something to think about. The costs are not cheap. Ads on Facebook have been increasing every year since I've been running ads on Facebook. And like I said, I've been running ads for about 8 years now. And the cost per click can be anywhere from, I don't know, for me, I've seen like 40, 50 cents per click all the way up to like $5 and over. So it's really expensive to advertise on Facebook. So that's why I say don't start out with advertising just clicks to your website, because you can burn through a lot of money really fast. Instead, advertise to gain that email address. So let's say also for lead ads, I've seen anywhere from maybe 50 cents up to $5, and I can go higher and higher. I just don't let my ads, I don't pay that much for those, for leads and for clicks. If it gets that high, I turn my ads off. So what I would do is, like, let's say even you spend $5 to get that email address. Is that worth it to you? Because that's better than spending $5 to get one click, right? Because now you've got an email address and you can interact with that person. You can send them an email and you own that email address now. Once you get that becomes part of your business. So I hope these tips have been helpful in knowing how to use Facebook ads to market and book more high school senior photography clients. And actually these tips can be used for pretty much any type of photography client, because I think there's so many people on Facebook. It's still one of the largest platforms. So just take these tips and kind of tweak them and apply them to the specific kind of client that you're looking to book, and hope these have been helpful. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention, if these tips have been helpful and if you've enjoyed watching a video like this, I want to invite you to sign up to be notified about a new marketing membership that I'm going to be launching pretty soon. It's called the Magazine Mama Marketing Club. And each month I'm going to be bringing you videos just like this one. I'm going to feature a private Facebook group that you can be a part of if you subscribe to the membership, and I'll be answering questions, creating video content, marketing videos, and it'll allow me more time and space to kind of interact with you guys more one-on-one, and to provide you even more value and go a little bit deeper into marketing. So if you are interested in something like that, we'll be covering topics like how to find your ideal client, like really narrow down on your ideal client. We'll also talk about your website marketing, like what things you need to have on your website and how to be able to convert the website visitors into booked clients. And then we'll talk about some other social media marketing tips and tricks and strategies, such as, like I said, Facebook marketing, Instagram, and Pinterest. So if you are interested in learning more about this when it becomes available, then I'd like to invite you to sign up on the link below and put your email in. I'll be sending out an email to everyone as soon as it's available. And it's not going to be open, probably not like year round. It's only for a limited time that it's going to be open to enroll. So you want to make sure, if you are interested in it, sign up so you don't miss out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.